Welcome back to the Crypto Ski Conversation. We're going to start with this one from Fred Raspola here. He's calling out to the XRP community for help. It says, in our ETH deck lawsuit, I'm looking for all the videos where any SEC official was asked directly whether Ethereum is a security. Please include the source link in your reply. So he's shouting out the community to send him a bunch of information, and stuff has already been sent. And obviously we know Chairman Gensler has been asked several times as to what the status of Ethereum is, whether it's a security or not. And he had roundabout answers talking about we're the SEC. We don't respond to any one particular asset. Interesting. So help Fred out with that. That's huge. This is from James K. Fallon, always giving us updates on what's going on. He says, Dr. Rosalind Layton has filed an amended motion to intervene to petition the court for access to the Hinman speech documents. Dr. Layton's original request suggested that the SEC had offered the Hinman speech documents in support of its own summary judgment motion when that was not the case. So he puts up all these screenshots here. I highly recommend you come in and kind of see what he has in there. But this is good. This is good stuff. Applying pressure, man. Hopefully, we get access to those Hinman documents. XP Crypto Wolf says the Hinman documents will make the SEC more likely to settle with Ripple. So we'll see. This is from Mr. Huber here. Responding to the future is here, says no unique advantage. I believe that's why Ripple hasn't settled yet. They want a level playing field. And then Mr. Huber says, sorry, I absolutely completely disagree. They are a for-profit company. If they can get a unique advantage, they will take it any day. They will not go to the SCOTUS for elbow Joe. Nope. And I think I put it right here. Did I put the next one? Ooh. I don't know what happened to my thing here, but there was just some conversation in here with David Schwartz. Let me make sure I didn't put it anywhere else. I don't know how I messed that up. Anyways, yeah, there was some people were kind of speculating as to what was David Schwartz hinting at in regards of he was saying, he really hopes he doesn't have to close the door and kind of keep it pushing, if you will. And people were saying, okay, whoa, what do you mean close the door? Are you meaning close the door on XRP holders because, Ripple the company, or you mean close the door on the rest of the industry, meaning like you get some sort of settlement agreement or whatever, some clarity for Ripple and XRP, but you slam the door on the rest of the industry. So people were kind of speculating as to what David Schwartz was saying, but he was kind of responding to this conversation. Let me actually click in here and see if I can get it. Let me see. I don't know, man. I don't know how I lost it, but that's something that I wanted to talk about. I don't even know if it's up here, but yeah, I thought it was interesting. So, cause obviously David Schwartz always has some sort of riddle or something that he's kind of hinting at. People say, he's just having fun. Some people say that, nah, man, he's kind of letting people know kind of what lies ahead type stuff, some foreshadowing stuff, but who knows? I'm curious to know like what exactly he meant in particular when he talks about how I really hope we don't have to close the door, shut the door on he didn't say anything, but he pretty much saying, Ripple the company shutting the door. He did specify though in the conversation that for them to succeed, he needs the industry to succeed. So maybe he is talking about the industry, meaning like, hey, if it doesn't work out that way, and we have to kind of take, our win when we can, and take what's good for Ripple the company and the digital asset XRP and slam the door on the rest of the industry. I hope I don't have to do that. Maybe that's what he's saying. Anyways, we're going to continue. This one's from Mr. Huber as well. It says, we all know that what Joel Katz means. It's no conspiracy. Gary Gensler himself said Ripple will have to bribe the incumbents with 50% of their ownership, the escrow. So let's take a quick listen into this.
A lot of commercial banks aren't terribly excited about that. Maybe you're going to have to give some ownership. Maybe you'll have to give 50% of your ownership to the 20 banks that are now, part of this. I mean, there are other ways to build incentive systems. Maybe you put a native token in there and you give them the native token. So there may be other incentive ways to beat the current monopolist. But having been around commercial banks for a long time, they really are looking for ways to replace their aggregators in their back office, whether it's clearing, settlement, exchanges.
We don't need to hear him talk more, but I mean, yeah, and you got to incentivize the incumbents, right, to play ball. We'll see, man. It's a waiting game to kind of see what's going to happen with that escrow Ripple has. This is from Cowboy Crypto. This is intriguing to me because what the heck do they mean by this? So this is Coinbase. This is an article from Axios. It says Coinbase earnings report comes with a dose of crypto and anarchism. So it says quote, we may determine not to remove a particular crypto asset from Coinbase spot market, even if the SEC or another regulator alleges that the crypto asset is a security. So you got the eyes, and a lot of people in the community have been speculating on kind of what that means. And I like this from Cody Carbon over here. I'm gonna go ahead and I retweeted it. He goes, litigation and court rulings are the fate of the U.S. regulatory landscape for crypto. If the SEC continues down their enforcement path in favor of rulemaking, it's up to Congress to intervene. So we're going to cover a little bit more on the importance of Congress later in this video here. But I thought this was interesting right here. TC.XRP responded to the conversation, says, laugh out. This is Coinbase standing up for their precious insider ETH. Lawsuits soon to come with ETH is a security. Oddly enough, it will happen as the Ripple case is ending on one side, but getting ready for Supreme Court trial. So, okay, not saying any of this is real, but or true or going to happen. Just the conversation alone is very intriguing to me, because it's like, okay, what are they hinting at when they say we will not remove a particular asset, even if the SEC or any regulator alleges it to be a security? It's like, okay, well, why? Okay, what digital asset would they be, going to bat for or standing strong in their roots, right? I mean, obviously, ETH, there's been conversations as to like, oh, now that they're proof of stake, what's going to happen? Now they're going to be classified as security term against the SEC or coming. It's like, okay, it's interesting, because what happened when the lawsuit was dropped against Ripple? They dropped XRP like a heartbeat, right? Hey, maybe they learned. Maybe they're like, hold up, man, we got to stand up for this. Maybe there's a little bit more behind that. Maybe there is some sort of insider stuff, deals or obviously that's their moneymaker or whatever the case is. Maybe there is some of that. Okay, cool. I like to think maybe they're like, hey, hell no, we're not going to do this. You can sit here and say all you want until it's proven otherwise, legally speaking. We're going to leave it here. It's just going to be a waiting game to see what happens. I don't know. Interesting. So this is Tom Emmer. Tom Emmer, we're waiting for that new day. We're waiting for it. He says, today I introduced the CBDC Anti-Surveillance State Act to halt efforts of unelected bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. from stripping Americans of their right to financial privacy, which is huge. He continues, the bill does three things. One, prohibits the Fed from issuing a CBDC directly to anyone. Two, bars the Fed from using a CBDC to implement monetary policy and control the economy. 3, requires the Fed CBDC projects to be transparent to Congress and the American people. Any digital version of the dollar must uphold our American values of privacy, individual sovereignty, and for market competitiveness. Anything less opens the door to the development of dangerous surveillance tool. China. After all, America remains a technological leader not because we force innovations to adopt our values under regulatory duress, but because we allow technology that holds these values at their core to flourish. I mean, this is good, right? We're still waiting for that new day. There's a lot of documents, letters, conversations, talks. Let's go. Let's see what's up, man. Let's focus a little bit more on the SEC too. This is from James K. Fallon as well. It says the Wall Street Journal discusses Gary Gensler's latest effort to extort control over all crypto. The Securities and Exchange Commission is investigating whether investor protection laws were violated as stable coins were issued. So we had conversations already about this, coming after DEXs, SEXs, centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, stable coins, NFT. I mean, they're coming after everything. And this is what John Deaton was saying from the drop of the Ripple lawsuit when he saw the wrongdoings. He said this isn't just Ripple and XRP. This is the entire industry. And it's been evident. We're talking about stable coins classified as securities. Good night. Eleanor Terrett says, more pushback today against the SEC. The Digital Chamber has filed an amicus brief in the SEC versus Wahi, seeking to dismiss the case and, quote, put an end to the SEC's attempt to add a backdoor rulemaking. So I came over here and I highlighted a few things right here. So it says the litigation between the SEC versus Ahsan Wahi and Nikhil Wahi and Samir Ramani is an unprecedented stealth attempt to expand the agency's jurisdictional reach and threatens the health and viability of the U.S. marketplace for digital assets. The case represents a new front in the SEC's long-standing regulation by enforcement campaign, one which has already caused a great deal of harm to the digital asset industry, as well as investors in digital assets. It says, unfortunately, rather than waiting for congressional action or even using its rulemaking authority to promulgate rules or issues adequate binding guidance for the digital asset industry, the SEC has forged ahead with lawsuits and enforcement activity. And it's going to continue on here. Look at this. This is Hester Pierce from the SEC says, getting lots of questions referencing stable coins and SEC. Facts and circumstances, of course. But SEC should defer to Congress, which is actively considering the issue. In the meantime, we and other regulators could hold public roundtables. Enforcement actions aren't the way to write the rules. I mean, this is Hester Pierce from the SEC. Obviously, there's been a lot of great verbiage and great words and speeches from Hester Pierce. We haven't seen very much action outside of that, which maybe, you know, her hands may be tied. I don't know. But clearly, even people under, were working with Chairman Gensler of the SEC are totally against his campaign, if you will. Right here, this is from Eleanor Church says, Scoop, Republican leaders renew call for Gensler to comply with outstanding requests from Congress. Will he comply? So, you know, is he going to show up? And John Deaton hit on the head here. He goes, no, he won't comply. The FSC may not even get him to testify before it. Prediction: Gary Gensler will testify before the Senate Banking Committee because Elizabeth Warren and Sherrod Brown will protect him. He will likely send the Senator Enforcement Director to testify before the FSC, which, I mean, based on history, I mean, this is probably the most likely outcome. And if anything, before he sits his butt down on that hot seat to, you know, feel the fire from Congress, if it ever happens, we all are speculating that he's probably going to walk out the door. He's just trying to drop as much as he possibly can and cause as much havoc as he can in the space, and then do the Jay Clayton and walk out that door. Just our speculation, and my speculation. I'll leave it there. It's my speculation. Let me go ahead and refresh this real quick. We're sitting on CoinGecko. We're currently at $1.16 trillion market cap. Bitcoin sitting at 24,543. Ethereum sitting at 1671, and XRP sitting at 39 cents. Coming over here to the Bitcoin Fear Greed Index, we're sitting at a 56. So there's still some positivity within all the negativity. So take the little wins where you can. It's just a waiting game to kind of see what happens. But that's what I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto's Key Conversation YouTube channel. Subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Crypto's Key 1. I really appreciate your support out there. With all that being said, stay strong out there and be safe.